Hi guys, welcome back to Cheers. Today I have a review as well as an all-day wear test coming at you on the Moonshot Micro Setting Fit Cushion. So if you want to see my thoughts and opinions on this product as well as an all-day wear test, then just keep watching. Okay, so this Moonshot brand is a brand by the Korean pop agency, like music group known as YG. You might know a few of their band members such as Big Bang, Blackpink, and so on. And this currently retails for $22.40 on the Moonshot website. But I personally got mine on Jolse, and I think I got it for like $15 on a Black Friday sale. So just keep that in mind if you want to purchase this at a cheaper price. Before I get into the whole wear test aspect of it, I just kind of wanted to read some claims that it has on its website. So it says that it has 3 functional effects, and that those are going to be brightening, anti-aging, and that it also has UV protection. It also claims to have a perfect setting power so that it really just holds your makeup in place immediately after the application, and that it has really good adherence, so like even if I were to touch my face, it wouldn't really transfer onto my finger. And it's supposed to have really good coverage as well as not really have a sticky or oily feeling to it. And I personally got this in the color 101 Ivory, which would be kind of like your number 21 for standard Korean BB creams or foundations that you would see for like rotary brands like Innisfree and Etude House and stuff like that. And they have 2 other colors, 201 Beige and 301 Honey. My sister personally uses the 201 Beige, and I got this on her recommendation after she's been really loving it. And just to now jump into my review of the product, I've been using it so far for about a month. And I only use it really like as a touch-up here and there throughout the day, or like if I'm only going to stay at home and work from home and need to go on camera or something for a meeting, then this is something that I really enjoy because it's like very easy, compact, something that you can apply really quickly, rather than throwing on, I don't know, like my Innisfree My foundation and blending it away with like a full sponge. So I've been really enjoying this for a quick application as well as a really easy to-go kind of thing. I've noticed that it has like really good coverage for me, but since I do use it only for like those days when I don't want to have a lot of coverage anyways, and just for like a touch-up throughout the day of a previous foundation that I had, so I would usually have a full face of makeup on, such as my concealer, my blush, and my bronzer, and everything else, as well as the previous foundation that I used that day. I haven't given this a full chance to show all of its glory, so it'll be really interesting to kind of go through the steps of really testing out how good this foundation is with you throughout the day. Since I did just go through the list of things that it claims, I'm just going to kind of see if it really does hold up to the claim and keep you guys updated throughout the day. To get started, this is what the packaging looks like, and I love that holographic aspect of it. I think it's so pretty. And on the inside, you'll have your mirror here as well as the little puff, and inside is the cushion. I really like this puff. This has been a favorite puff of mine to use because of that pointed tip. It really allows me to get into the crevices of my face, especially like the points of my eyes here as well as the little corners of my nose here. So I don't have anything else on my face except for my skincare routine from Atomy, and I would usually have my like a primer maybe, or especially sunscreen. I don't even have sunscreen on, which is really weird to me. I debated going back and forth on whether to do my sunscreen for you guys or not, but since my sunscreen does have a bit of coverage, I just wanted to make sure that you got like the real deal on how much coverage this provides you, so I decided to forego that today. You're welcome. So I do have a bit of dark circles going on right now. I'm hoping that this, just using only this, will provide enough coverage for me. And I do have like a zit right here, so I'm hoping that this will also cover that. Usually I have like something else to also help cover some of my like hyperpigmentation areas, but this will have to do. Usually when I use this product, I always use it with like a concealer or my blush and my bronzer. But since I'm not using any of those today, it'll be really interesting to see how much I actually enjoy this foundation. So far, it doesn't do the best job of covering up my pores. I can kind of see the pores kind of coming through here, as well as on my nose here. So it's not as pore filling as the Maybelline one, but I also do have to say, since I don't have any of my sunscreen on nor primer, I don't really have anything else to help fill in my pores. So that is something to note on the side. Other than that, I think it did a decent job of giving me some cover on my face. It was very easily buildable. There's no caking of any sort so far, and I haven't really experienced caking with this product as of yet, so that's good to see with only this product on my face. I'm just going to put on some eye makeup because I look a little dayed, and I will check in with you throughout the day and let you know how it's going. As for some of the tests that I wanted to do that I had mentioned earlier, I'm going to see. There isn't really any transfer. Nope, I don't see any transfer on it. Interesting. I wonder if it'll show up on my, yeah, on my black shirt, like nothing is coming off on from my fingers, so that's really cool. And I don't see like a fingerprint mark on my face, which is good. So the adherence is pretty good. Coverage, we just kind of already went through. My zit, granted it wasn't super red, but it's not really like, you can't really see it right now. You can see the little like bump of it, but not really the redness of it, which is good. And it feels really light, like it doesn't really feel like I have any foundation on my skin yet. So I really enjoyed that aspect of this foundation. And I guess for the rest, we'll just kind of see throughout the day. It is currently 8:04 here in Seattle. So yeah, I will keep you updated. Stay tuned. Hey guys, it is now about 12:30 here in Seattle, and I just wanted to do a quick check-in with you on the status of my face. And so far, I'm not seeing any type of creasing in the foundation, which is great. Maybe a little bit right under my eye bag area, but that's not something that's unusual. I always get it no matter how good or expensive the product has been. So just to give you a look of what it looks like. It's really hard to see, but there's a little bit of creasing right there. But in terms of the overall look of it, the look of it has faded, I have to say, especially under my eye area. I think because I put on a bit of mascara, there's some bleeding of the mascara onto my lower lash line. And usually when that happens with my other foundations or concealers, I usually just kind of wipe it. But because I think this foundation tends to just really stick to ya, even when I wipe, the look of the mascara bleeding onto my lower lash line hasn't really improved at all. So usually I would actually probably go into the foundation again and just re-dip and apply, but I just really want to see how this looks throughout the day at the end of the day without any reapplication of the product. Other than that, I kind of have like a darker hyperpigmentation around my mouth area, and I noticed that that's kind of peeking out again. It has oxidized to my skin color, like my natural one, a bit more, so it is darker than when I first applied it. But yeah, so far I still feel really like I don't have any foundation on, so very light. It doesn't feel sticky at all. There's a bit of oiliness going on right here, but that's just because my natural oils tend to come out a lot in my T-zone area throughout the day. So it's kind of peeking out here, as you can probably see on camera. I am liking it for like a very light foundation day look, for natural everyday kind of thing, but so far I don't think I would necessarily recommend this unless you plan on reapplying it throughout the day as an all-day foundation. So if you wanted to go out for the night and party it up, or even wear it to the office all day without having to worry about touching it up, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it just quite yet. And I don't think it will get better throughout the day, but I guess we will see. And in terms of how it's holding up for those tests that I talked about earlier, the adherence test, I think it's still doing really well. There's nothing that's still transferring onto my finger, and it hasn't transferred onto my black shirt either, which is really good. I don't see a fingerprint at all, but it did get a little bit redder here, but that's just gonna naturally happen anyways. Yeah, I really like that it's not creasing so much on my nose area because that usually tends to happen. The zit here though, I can see it a bit more, being like a bit more red than before. Can you see it peeking through now? But other than that, yeah, it just looks very, very natural, like almost like maybe that I have like sunscreen on almost. Actually, now that I think about it, it almost kind of just feels like, looks like I have just my Innisfree sunscreen on, because that already has some coverage to it, but just slightly more coverage since this is a cushion foundation. Yeah, I'm not mad at it so far. I don't think I would recommend this for someone who needs a lot more coverage than me, but yeah, we will see throughout the day. I'll check back in with you guys a bit later. Hey guys, so it is now 4:30 here in Seattle and pretty much the end of the work day. In terms of what it looks like now, it pretty much looks like my skin essentially. There's just a bit more coverage on the center parts where I had a little bit more product on my skin. But right now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the under eyes look really dark for me because of the mascara bleed. Like I really, really, really want to go in with another layer of foundation on here, but I do want to wait for the end of the workday until then. And I noticed that as my oils are starting to come out more, I think a bit of the product is starting to kind of get into my eyes. And so it makes my eyes sore, similar to that of, you know, when you have a physical, I think it's a chemical sunscreen and it gets kind of into your eyes. It has that like, I don't know, tinging sensation. I'm getting a bit of that here. And with that, like my nose tends to be one of the more oilier parts, and if I rub it with the oils and the foundation on my nose, then it does tend to wipe away, whereas when it was initially first applied, it didn't really wipe away if I just touched it. There isn't really any creasing. I think after the oils came out, even under my under eyes, the creasing actually went away too, so there isn't a problem there. Other than that, I feel like I definitely would have done another application of this product throughout the day. So definitely, if you do want to use this as like a whole day thing, take it on the go with you. I think I'm just going to do one more check-in with you guys after dinner or something, just to show you what it would look like with at least 10 hours of wear on. But in terms of that test, again, taking a bit of the product here, I'm not seeing it much on my finger being transferred, and not seeing it on my black shirt being transferred either. I just look like an oily mess right now. I really wish I could. I didn't even use like a setting spray or anything. So, I mean, I guess in terms of it staying on for now, I think like 7 hours, not so bad, without any primer or setting spray or powder. So, not too bad. I don't see like any caking in any certain area. Pore coverage is still on par. And now I feel like this zit area though, it's just like, it's just there as if like there's no coverage on it. Maybe, obviously a little bit because there's still some product on there, but yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of like meh about this foundation. I really like the way it applies and how light it feels. I still feel like there's nothing on my face, so I really like that aspect. But just in terms of how it wears throughout the day, I'm not super impressed with it. Definitely something that I would reapply maybe 2 to 3 times throughout the day. I am going to start preparing some dinner, and then I will check back in with you guys after that for a final check-in. See you soon. Hey guys, I'm back now, and it is just about 6 o'clock here, and overall it's still the same, I'd say, from the past hour and a half ago, and now it's about the 10-hour mark. So if I wanted to try a reapplication of this product with you guys to see if it still looks good with the reapplication. Yeah, that makes sense. The spot that needs it the most. Just another little tad bit. This part needs some help. Just one more dot here. I turned pale again, guys. It's looking good to me. I think it's still very buildable on top of what I had on earlier. There's no caking going on, just a little bit more coverage than earlier before. So that's good that you can just continue layering this on as needed throughout the day, I think. Granted that this is only my second layer for the entire day after 10 hours of wear. Skin looks a bit more flawless and even toned, which is good. And the final test after putting a second layer of this on. So there doesn't look to be much transfer there. And no transfer there either. So transfer test, Moonshot has done really good. Obviously, if I were to just do this, still nothing. I'm shook. Well, okay, how about if I wiped it though? Barely anything, guys. Like a little bit right here, but that's like hardly anything considering. If I were to do that with any other foundation, you bet that this would be white here. It would be like this part of my shirt. But yeah, super impressed with the non-transfer aspect of it. So just to sum up everything, I think I would give this product maybe a 3.8 out of 5 stars just because it's great for like maybe an everyday light wear if you don't like something that's really heavy, but I prefer something that provides a little bit more coverage and something that I only have to apply once throughout the entire day. I did notice that when I did wear sunscreen with this before, the coverage did seem to last a little bit longer, so that's also something to keep in mind since I didn't have literally anything on my face besides my moisturizers today to go underneath this product. But this is definitely something that I'm going to continue purchasing just because I love the compact aspect of it, and it's something that I can always easily take on the go to anywhere. So if I don't want to take an entire bottle and a sponge for my foundation, then this is definitely a great alternative. It's just something that you'll have to kind of reapply throughout the day. But another big plus for the Moonshot is really its puffer. I love that pointed tip right there. It's just genius, and I love how it just gets into the crevices of everything and anything and how you can angle it a bit more. So really a big fan of that. The formulation wise, I think it's also really good. It's really light. It feels non-sticky, non-oily like it claims, so that's really good. And the coverage is also really good too because it is buildable. I guess the only reason why I don't want to give it that final start, like I said before, is just because it doesn't really last throughout the day for me. And I would still get like a concealer for my under eyes, but other than that, for a foundation, not bad. Moonshot, not bad. Sorry. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review as well as an all-day wear test. And if you did, don't forget to give this video a like as well as a subscription to the channel would be super appreciated. And don't forget to ring the notification bell if you want to see more content like these. So until next time, cheers to a good week. Bye guys!